It's a damp and chilly night in Harpers Ferry, and the mist is rolling in, and it couldn't be more perfect. This town is not only the home to many significant events in terms of our nation's history, but it's also where the first ghost tour in the United States started. Back in the late 60s, a woman named Shirley Dougherty opened an inn here, and her and her staff started having all these crazy experiences. So she asked around town if anyone else had ever had anything strange happen, and a lot of folks had. She wrote a book about it, and in 1970 started the ghost tours of Harpers Ferry. Now, she died in 2011, and this evening I'd like this video to be a little bit of an homage to Shirley. I want to tell one of her stories. See that building right there behind me? That is called John Brown's Fort, and that's where the abolitionist John Brown and his raiders tried to start an uprising to violently overthrow the institution of slavery back in October of 1859. It didn't work. They were under siege there for a couple days, and Robert E. Lee eventually captured John Brown and took him to Charlestown, which is around 7 miles away, where he was executed. And John Brown's ghost is said to haunt Harpers Ferry and Charlestown, but that's not the spirit I want to talk to you about. I want to tell you about a guy named Dangerfield Newby. And Dangerfield was a mulatto slave who was freed by his father, who was the plantation owner, whenever he was of age. And then he went on and married a woman and had 7 children with her. They were all slaves, and he tried to free his wife and children by buying them. But every time he raised the money that the plantation owner asked for, they would just up the ante and price even more. And he became embittered and ended up, in that fort, firing upon the townsfolk. And the townsfolk were firing back with anything they could. They didn't have a lot of ammunition here. They had a lot of guns. So there was one guy that was shooting 6-inch spikes out of his rifle. And it was one of those that pierced the throat of Dangerfield Newby and killed him instantly. They took the body and they threw it in this alley right here. It's called Hog Alley nowadays. And Shirley would say, Hog Alley didn't get its name in a very pretty way. There's the sign for it. You see, when they threw Dangerfield's body here, they mutilated it, and then they just left it for the hogs. And there's an old account in 1903 that one of the hogs, the first one to come up to Dangerfield's body, didn't seem to notice it or mind it at all. And then as soon as its snout touched his corpse, all the bristles and hairs on the hog's back stood on end, and it ran away like it was being chased by something. Other hogs didn't mind so much, and they ended up eating him. But his ghost is said to haunt this alley, and Shirley would always say, if you're wandering the streets of Harper Ferry at night and you see a man in baggy trousers and an old slouch hat with a terrible scar across his throat, you'll know you met Dangerfield Newby. Thanks for watching. Good night.